Hey, want to know how to upgrade your marketing and bring it up to the 21st century so you can out-recruit any other possible system that's available out there for you? I'm going to share all of that and more in this morning's marketing tip. Hey, my friend, this is Greg. I'm the third founder, CEO, FastStartMarketer.com. Listen, why in the world, with the technology we have in our back pocket, with cameras, phones, video recorders, the ability to actually do math on the fly, connect to the interwebs, and do all this fantastic stuff with a little handheld device, are we still using technologies and recruiting processes developed in the 50s, and we're taking our techniques in our recruiting back to 1982? It's ridiculous. Listen, it's time we overhaul our entire recruiting software. So I'm going to start by giving you a solid foundation from the framework up to rebuild your recruiting, and here's how it goes. You first need to understand this core concept about the differences between marketing and sales. Marketing and sales, that's old, Greg. I know it's old, but here's what you need to understand about it, or else you're never going to be as effective as you could be in your business. Marketing is everything you do that educates, gets a prospect interested, and pre-positions you as the expert for your market before you ever pick up the phone to talk to them. That's marketing. Marketing does the bulk of the heavy lifting. It educates, it gets them interested and gets them pre-positioned so that by the time you talk to them, when you move into the sales process, they're already interested, educated, and wanting to hear more about your offer before you ever waste any time chasing around tire kickers and ultimately not wasting time with people who aren't genuinely interested in your offer before they're ready. This is such a key component. This made a massive difference in my organization. When I understood the difference between educating an uninterested prospect to an interested prospect, I understood that if I spent my time chasing people around with phone calls, person-to-person meetings, dragging them to hotel meetings, three-way call house parties, having them forced to watch webinars or any kind of thing they weren't prepared for, if I did that and then chased my time around begging and pleading to get them to join my business, it turned out to be a massive waste of time. And quite frankly, if that's where you're starting, you're wasting your time in a lot of these instances. Now sure, some people may buy, but the reality is most folks won't. So how can you maximize your time? How can you ultimately leverage that time freedom and that financial freedom you were promised when you started your business? It's simple. Understand the difference between marketing and sales. And when you understand the powers of marketing and you use that process to leverage, educate, and to filter and drip on people on your behalf, that at some point in their life, maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe an hour from now, after they've read and seen enough information, they're going to raise their hand and say, hey, you, with that awesome opportunity, with that incredible product or service, I'm ready to hear more. That's the person you need to invest your time with. This has been a simple upgrading mindset to bring your recruiting to the 21st century. You want to know how to use now the power of the internet, social media, the spoken word, the written word, and the telephone to be able to bring your full recruiting all the way up. More importantly than that, to put a system in place that'll get your team plugging in right away, regardless of how introverted they are or regardless of how introverted you are, and starting to get a result in your team in less than days, not years. That's simple. Below, you'll see an opt-in form, a registration form for our next webinar. I'm going to detail out for you not just the mindset upgrades, but the technological upgrades you need to use right away so you can start to impact your recruiting. And more importantly, stop using those old school brick cell phones that give you cancer in less than an hour's time frame, my friend. No longer will you use those outdated technologies. Corded phones, pish posh, no longer. You'll upgrade your recruiting to today's strategies and more importantly, lay a foundation that will allow you to grow with any new medium. I don't care if holograms come out starting tomorrow, you'll be ready to capitalize on them and start recruiting virtually if you need to. Register for the webinar now and I will see you on the next webinar.